For those of you just joining us, that was the end of the trailer to Dogfight, which is Rakontur's newest project that's coming out.
I guess this is the fifth one of the year. So far we had Square Grouper, The Godfathers of Ganja, which is now available on DVD and on Netflix.
Okay.
And then we had Limelight, had its world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival. Square Grouper was at South by. So Limelight came out. Limelight's going to be distributed theatrically starting the end of August, beginning of September by Magnolia Pictures. Then we have our new ESPN fall project that's going to premiere, I think, in October.
So the first ESPN project was a 30 on 30.
34.
34-30.
You make it sound like a porn. 30 on 30.
And it was The U, a tale about...
Yeah, it was about the University of Miami's championship history. It was one of the longer 30 for 30s. It was a 2-hour piece.
Should have called it 120 for 30.
It was about an hour and 42 for 30, and it was an ideal 30 for 30 because it really is a 30-year story. And ESPN first went on the bird in fall of '79, and that's what 30 for 30 was supposed to commemorate.
Sort of an anniversary
series.
project.
Yeah, and really the story of University of Miami's championship history begins in '79 too, with Howard Schnellenberger coming to the program, and then it chronicles the 4 national championships of the '80s. It's a really, it's the team of the '80s story. I mean, if it had like a subheading, it was the Dynasty. It would be the team of the '80s, because that's really what it was. We don't quite go to 2001, but we've been toying with the idea of doing a sequel that takes you through the decade, the next decade from when we leave off. It basically goes from 94 to the early zeros, the 5th national championship.
All of our viewers are filmmakers, Billy. I got to get off a couple quick questions. Yeah. Is there a camera or a sort of a media style that you prefer the best? You like tapeless? You like tapes?
Oh man, this is tough. Being of this generation, we got to experience this incredible transition. And I got to say, I was gonna curse. I guess we sort of can.
This is the internet. Dude.
Yeah, because I'm scared shitless of tapeless. We do it, of course, but the notion that it's all zeros and ones on a card, it's such a tenuous, frightening thing. I mean, I know for a lot of young people, it's second nature. I mean, it's what they know. But for us, man, to not know that it's sitting somewhere, all this footage, and that you go through so much time and effort to capture, that it's not on a tape somewhere, is just so upsetting to me. Like, I'm sitting here now, like, nervous about stuff that we've got sitting on. Yeah, and then of course, I mean, like, how do you really effectively back it up? I mean, you've got it on a drive, okay? You got it on another drive, and then we've all had drives go.
Sure.
I mean, and what are the odds that you're going to lose 2 drives in 2 completely different locations? I don't know, but I don't want to find out.
Yeah.
What the odds of that are, and it's kind of frightening. It's amazing. It's the future. But it's still disturbing. Coming from an analog world, growing up in an analog world and watching this transition is frightening.
And if you could also just touch on for our filmmakers out there that are looking to achieve distribution, can you give us a little bit of insight in how you started out with Magnolia and sort of how that relationship?
Well, first of all, get a real job, and don't waste any of yours or your parents' money at film school, please. Please.
Unless you're wasting that money at Midtown Video, but
go
on.
At film school, I mean, it's much better to go and buy some equipment and go and do. It's so affordable these days to do that. I mean, the amount of money that you waste in film school could legitimately go towards equipment, a production.
Okay.
I mean, and that would be learning on the job. Making your own mistakes, I think, is a much more effective way of learning. But also these days, independent filmmaking, in particular, is more a hobby than it is a business. I mean, the business model is, almost completely collapsed.
How so?
Well, I mean, how so? You're going to go stream Square Grouper right now on Netflix,
right? Which
is cool, but the revenue generated from that is nowhere near what we could generate. What Cocaine Cowboys, for example, generated on DVD.
Was that on DVD?
I mean, DVD, but that was way back in 2006. You remember DVDs?
When people bought
those discs and then you have to find a place in your house for it to sit and collect dust. That's completely over and done with, and you can never get that revenue back. I mean, you're producing a little disc for pennies, and adding package, and once you're done with the marketing expense, it's like $2-3 a unit tops. Same thing with CDs. and then you're charging $19.99 for it, or $12 or $17 wholesale or something, that's an extraordinary amount of revenue. And so when you lose that, there's no way to compensate.
Netflix
for
isn't
that
giving
loss.
you that same kind
There's
of.
no way to, now other other streaming companies will come into the game. The competition will be healthy. It'll hopefully drive up the licensing fees for streaming, but not in a way that is going to be able to ensure the budgets that you need to be able to produce quality content. So you have to look for alternative solutions. That's what we do. We also have the benefit now of having a brand in Rakontur, having a track record of projects that people appreciate, thankfully, and now we can. We have a little bit of an easier time, but we have an output deal with Magnolia. So a lot of our projects, the Cocaine Cowboys movies 1 and 2, the third one, which is called Cocaine Cowboys Remix, is coming out later this year with Magnolia. That's Project 4. I think we've talked about 4 of the 5. And
better give it to me now. What's the 5th project coming out this year?
You know what? I don't even think it's going to be done this year, so it doesn't matter.
All right.
Square Grouper, Limelight, ESPN, Dogfight, and Remix. No, that's all 5 of them.
Okay.
That is all 5.
We
of them.
made it.